Let's see. My session plans, which is now session plan 3, 4, and 5. Because there's still enough in there to last a while. Marvelous. Alright then, kids. Alright then. Where do we even leave off? Because
I am trying to remember.
I
I had a bad dream. I know that much.
yeah, bad dreams. Oh man.
Uh, we 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 just got done with day 3, and I almost got sexed up by the Vistani.
Oh no, the smooches.
They do like doing that.
They do,
And
allegedly.
they just kept spraying you with a bottle of water.
It's like keep
No.
bonking me with the bat.
No.
No.
Oh no, I'm out of water. Guess I only have one option. Wield it like a mace. Bam.
I believe we're still we did some research into what Strahd likes and what may make our buddy uh Anthony
Yes, Anthony
uh
Foxglove.
yeah more amicable for the meeting.
I think you gave him some instructions. You got him a gift. I think. I hope.
I think we still need to buy the gift
Oh no.
or find it.
Oh, I was researching.
Yeah, we had 6 days until we needed to get to the castle.
Okay, so we have 3 days left.
Yeah,
Handsome.
spent that time looking for information.
Let's see. You learned that he appreciates insightful, participating followers. That he'd be quite upset if you people refuse his polite requests. Prefers that you don't bother him. He will come to you. He likes flowers that emit light and gifts from outside of Barovia.
So I think now that we've gotten our information, I think we should help good old Anthony with his pitch and his
Yeah,
flavor
that's what I
plans.
was thinking.
Oh my goodness.
Give him some pro tips on public speaking.
Public speaking tips.
He
All
does
right.
need that. He
Who?
seems not very good at that.
All right then. You decide to run him through how to talk to people with a big smile. How to get him on board with someone who you know a little bit about. Clearly seems to be a man of his charge and appreciate competence. Marvelous. Who here? Oh man, it's diplomacy in this system, ain't it? Gosh, I've run this in 5e so much that my brain is like persuasion. No, it's diplomacy.
Same difference.
Who here has the diplomacy abilities that he thinks he can do it?
Diplomacy. I am untrained.
I'm confident.
Yeah, I'm pretty confident.
Don't forget to add a hero point at the start of the session.
All right. That is
Pink.
uh, there you go. I, I'll run him through his pitch, his go-to phrases, synergy, all the big words like philanthropist and you know
You run him
movers and
through the old
shakers.
classic big words.
Yeah, get him through the movers and shakers. Bada boom.
A wet 20.
Oh, we're using stamina for this. A wet 20. Don't call it that. That makes it sound gross. Now it's all floppy like a fish.
Also, while I'm reading going through the pitch, I would like to glance at his papers. Want to know what he's doing?
His papers. Listen, it's been too long. I have forgotten what the papers contain.
No.
What was the context of the papers again? Because maybe you can spark my memory.
I think it's just what he knows about the meeting and what's the plan. I, I don't know.
Unfortunately, I don't keep good notes because I honestly really should pick up a habit of just having a notebook next to me and just going scribble, scribble,
I
scribble.
feel that.
But that's an
I
acquired
ho-
skill. That's like learning to brush your teeth every day. You gotta pick it up.
hopefully I can carry over, how I was doing with Marie over to Martha, because I
You
was
give it. Martha, you're not. I mean, you're not the edge lord in the group over there in the corner. So you managed to straighten your coat and give him a couple of solid tips for the day, running him through a few rehearsals, as it were. What's the
yeah,
rest
just
doing
like
as this is going on?
Um,
I mean, I'm not very helpful in this exact situation.
Well, maybe you can look for some gifts. See where you can
yeah,
find some
like
glowy flowers. I don't
I
know.
will go look
Martha.
for glowy flowers.
Yeah, Martha
I,
has
s-
his hand. We can probably go to
I'm slightly glowy. I'm good at finding glowing things.
That's not how that works. I might be dry and crispy, but that doesn't mean I can find anything dry and crispy.
But it means I'll recognize it when I see it. I'll be like, that over there, that's glowy. Those flowers there, not glowy.
I can see that too. I have eyes.
Yeah, but I'm an expert. Look, I
Okay,
learned from economists to just claim that I know what I'm talking about.
cool. So, you're trying to look for
So I'm
glowing
going.
flowers. What's your approach?
Well, I'm gonna go check. Probably first off, import stores if there are any.
also Shaska. I'll tell Shaska to go with them and just listen to them as best that she can.
Yeah, like any kind of shop that.
He likes stuff from
Look,
outside Barovia, so it's best to
yeah,
look for stuff from not Barovia.
yeah, any merchants that like look like they're not from around here.
Nice. And since I'm stealing the idea for an idea roll, we might do one of those. Handsome.
Yay, a thing from Call of Cthulhu.
Yes. It's the roll you use when the party is being extremely stupid or is missing something obvious. You can just make them roll and they will find it, but it won't be good necessarily. Let's take a look see at the guy who runs Bildrith. Is the only merchant slash blacksmith you know of in this place?
I believe so. I believe they're the only one we've actually been acquainted with.
Also, that reminds me, I need to pull up the original documents because I do need to know what's in the original, what the names are of places and people. Dunder Mifflin. It's places, people, paper, places. Ba-ba-ba-ba. Point is, you make your way over to Bildrith and you take a look around his store. He does indeed trade a lot with people who come by Barovia for the funsies, as it were.
Place has funsies.
Well, you know. Not everyone thinks it's very fun to go to a place where a vampire might swoop down to drink your blood, and everyone's like, "Yep, that's life."
That's why I was questioning it.
This place is filled to the brim with all kinds of exotic goods and strange wares. The whole place also kind of musty. Ugh. Let's take a
I will
look.
enter.
You don't find any glowing flowers. You think those be obvious to find, like they be in like little glass cupolas or growing out in where you can see them and see their glow scattered on the surfaces around them. But it seems that he doesn't deal in perishables like flowers.
I'm gonna go talk to him.
Let me just get his.
I'm
Oh.
gonna approach.
Oi. Looking cheap. Don't pay bills. What do you need? What can I sell you?
Oi, hello, good sir. We are seeking a gift for a nobleman in this area. Something distant, as it were.
Afraid I got nothing distant for you. Everything here is right here. Close. So,
But is it from here?
well, if anything looks fancier, if anything looks. Oh, God damn it, no, it's a British accent I'm going for. Oi! If anything around there, it's got that, if it looks any fancier than something I can make, it's probably off and around there, eh? So, what's gonna be?
Delilah, do you understand him?
He says that anything that looks fancier than something you find in
No,
villas
I'm
like
assuming
this.
Crucius doesn't get the accent. Like she's all upper crusty speaking, and he's like
The crust, man, the
Scottish.
crust.
Delilah, how about you field this one, Delilah?
Okay. Yeah. Basically, we're looking for essentially goods that have come from outside of Barovia. Any kind of like exotic tradables that have people have maybe sold here or traded for other goods.
That's what I tell you. If it looks like it doesn't come from here, it's not from here. Mm.
Yeah, but we haven't been here for very long, so we're not exactly super familiar with the like what would make something a Barovian good.
Oh my god, we're that father or that uncle that forgets to get the kid a birthday gift on the way there and has to get it at the drugstore.
He kind of scratches his chin and then shrugs. If you want to buy something that you know it's not from Barovia, you can always just leave Barovia and buy it. Or visit the Vistani. They excel in selling exotic imports at the appropriate price.
Great, those guys again.
They seem friendly.
Bork.
Too friendly.
Bork.
Shaska gets a pet.
Ding.
Brarf. Broof. Bjork. Well, you heard what he said. Either you find it out on your own. Man, if there was an appraise skill, it'd be so useful right about now.
Yeah, the one time praise is useful.
And it's the one time that when you spend points, you feel like, well, told you guys. Told you. I told you.
I told you I'd know about it.
I'm the smart one now.
What would we use in the place of appraisal?
I have no idea. I imagine that a lore skill is supposed to suck it up.
Society or thievery, probably. They seem like the most.
I mean, society I could see makes sense.
Even crafting, if you're trying
Actually, I imagine I can find this out if I just look up the rules for gemstones and art objects.
to, probably.
Ba 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 ba. Wah 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 wah. Gem sight. Some creatures can exclusively see gems with their special eyes. Ooh.
That seems impractical.
I guess
Yeah,
craft.
I mean, what if there aren't any gems? Do you see nothing?
I guess craft would be an appropriate roll up.
Oh, I have no
Yeah.
crafting.
What the hell?
Well, if the Vistani specialize in this, let's go talk to the Vistani.
Hmm. Well, I was just remembering last time she went there, babysitting Martha. But it seems like, yeah, we're going to have to pay another visit to them.
I mean, I highly doubt the ones who are running the inn would have much wares to sell, given that they run an inn, or own an inn specifically.
Yeah, that's not really in the business of buying and selling random crap from other countries.
But if they do have something, it should be fancy. Well, we can look around, try to find the flower. But where would we find a glowing flower?
Underneath the floorboards.
A glowing meadow?
I'm gonna give you a hint. You know at least two people who should be able to answer that question, or at least you know one of them. You know of one of them.
We know that person. I'm trying to jog my memory of what all we've done since it's been a bit. We know that one person in the forest, the magic lady.
Oh.
Which one? We know multiple magic ladies.
The one
Well,
that lived in
no.
the forest.
Yeah, one of the hags lived in the forest. They
Well,
were
there's-
nature,
There's the herbalist in the village, the herbalist, Mad Mary. And then there's Lady Hissa, who lives in the woods.
I think the woods one would be good.
Yeah, I think if we're going to be looking for any kind of flowers or wild plants, I guess, probably a good idea to ask some kind of druid.
Didn't that lady ask you to do something that you didn't do?
I thought she asked us to kill the thing.
No,
yeah, just
destroy
get
it.
rid of the wall.
Yeah, we did.
Didn't you take a piece of it for yourself to keep?
No, we didn't
No,
keep
no,
it.
we gave the head to
To the
one of
person.
them.
And then she said she would handle the rest of the body.
Oh.
Because we
Well-
told her exactly where it was.
Okay.
Yeah, they didn't seem upset with us.
Well, in that case, I should probably add a little. There we go. Handsome. Well, that's the thing you could do. You could visit the local herbologist or see if the Lady of the Woods is any better.
I want to find the Lady of the Woods. She seemed trustworthy.
Yeah, I think the herbologist was mostly all about pies.
She
No,
did
that was
look like
Morgantha. That was an alchemist, technically.
Oh yeah, that was a different lady.
Listen, she has a college degree. She knows what she's doing.
There's a lot of ladies.
she went to Kuleg.
She went to Kool-Aid class, and now she can make pies out of Kool-Aid. If you want to ask me how that works, I'm not going to give you the answer because you won't like it.
I don't want to. So yeah, let's go find her.
In the meantime, Martha is struggling with this man. It is insufferable how he. Listen, you know how some nobles can get where they want their own way, and he insists that his way of saying it is correct? It's foliage. You can't just go the other way.
Foliage. Anthony, please.
Essentially, you were having the best, longest winded discussion about pronunciation and what it's. Ugh, listen, this is just extremely annoying to deal with, but you got to do it. It's the dirty work.
Gotta do it, dude.
We've been ignoring Anthony for like 3 days. One of us has to do this.
And then he tried to like do a little fancy bow, curtsy, whatever, do introductions, and I mean he's got it, but there's no charisma. Where's the charisma? I ask you to act, not to act as if you're acting. Meanwhile, your
Well,
friends
we
are leaving town
ooh,
without telling you.
Hooray!
Yay!
and Shaska's with them too, so I'll be able
Sashka,
to do.
little pupper out and about. Let's see. Do you even know where Lady Hissa hangs out?
In the woods.
That is
I mean,
hilarious.
I don't know how much more specific you have to be than somewhere in the woods.
Bork.
Bjark. Broof. Wasn't there a sign like down the road that told you where to go?
I believe
Was-
so. Like on the way into town, it mentioned something to do with that. I only vaguely remember. It was ages ago.
Handsome.
Plot relevant place.
You head your way out of town into the foggy swamplands, where, if I recall correctly, did you guys get scammed by some will-o-wisps?
Yeah.
We did avoid anything with the will-o-wisps.
No, they put us off course, and then
Oh
we jumped.
yeah, they did.
It's the water people we avoided.
Dumped us by the river.
Eventually, you do find a soggy, sad, compressed but still incredibly wet dirt road that leads upwards, veering north off the track. It seems to be following a very particular path, despite not being quite all that straight across the where it's intending to go. Not that you could make it out too much on your first travel. After all, you can only see so far in the fog that only seems to get denser the more you walk through this marshy land.
Alright,
Well, we
adventure.
should probably keep going.
The marshy road leads up to the dense trees. It hardly feels like a road anymore, once you have to press and squeeze through sections of thick shrubbery and all the rest. This is the road of a druid, someone who is one with the woods and can make good friends with it. Which is exactly why once you start getting quite deep into the woods, let's see, how long have you been walking at that point? Like an hour or two? Couple hours? It's all marshy, so it takes a bit longer. You feel something unpleasant. Namely, you notice a sound of creaking, of grasping, cold, moist, damp hands covered in moss. Bony hands grabbing at your backpacks, at your arms and legs. A cackle in the woods. Roll me a fort save, kids.
Fort safe.
Oh, great, my worst one.
My good one. Roll.
Marvelous. Let me. Listen,
Wow, we all rolled right next to each other. That was the lowest amount of spread.
We like to call that one the lucky shotgun. Give me my GM screen. It's super useful. Where am I looking? It's there. How appropriate. Marvelous. The lot of you managed to shake off the many grasping trees, the shrubs that are gripping towards you, the vines that thicken over your feet like a growing carpet. Unfortunately, this forces you forward. Going backwards means running straight into their greedy hands. It forces you forward and forward until you reach a small grassy knoll. A
Where we
single
shot
tree.
the president.
No, you will not shoot the president. That's illegal.
Crime is illegal.
Also, there is no president of Barovia. I appreciate your go-get-him attitude. Appreciate you putting up your little fisticuffs and going like, yeah, we're gonna get him. I'm gonna get him.
So the guy in charge lives like way over there, pretty far away.
Hey, you haven't, you have. I'm pretty sure that there's some weird build you can make in Shadowrun or Starfinder or Traveler where you can shoot that far and make it. Point is, the party, the token of the party. You end up.
John,
It's not a clearing, but it is distinctly a single large tree that has grown directly over a house. The tree is flat. Its foliage is very flat and wide, and covers what would have otherwise been a clearing entirely with its own leaves. It's one of the rare few points where you've actually seen plants that don't look like they're seconds away from falling over dead. The
That's
air has a
new.
strange freshness to it, a strange sense of life. And some of the shrubs even carry pleasant looking berries. Additionally, the house up ahead has a small fenced off set of areas, some of which produce glowing flowers. A variety of them, in fact. Some look like golden tulips, others like silvery moon bells.
This was the right choice.
looks like this Lady Hissa person knows what they're doing.
Unlike you guys. Haha, got him.
You're not wrong.
Hey, I am vaguely competent.
Well,
We're all very
Okay,
proud.
let's go in.
Yeah, go up, knock on the door.
you decide to walk straight up to the front door, puppy in tow. Let's see. Oh man, I love that Shashka's using that little baby picture.
Yeah.
It's a young little boy. A little baby boy. You walk straight up to the front door, firmly plant your hand against it, and knock, knock, knock. The tree above you
Indeed.
seems to groan at your presence. You then notice that the door seems to be covered by, well, let's just say that there's a lot of deadbolts in the form of vines and roots growing over it, as if the tree is coddling the house that it's sitting on.
Hence why knocking is a good idea.
Knocking is also only polite.
It is only polite to knock and then yell at them. Hey, I knocked. I've been polite. I'm now allowed to do what I want. And I'm gonna pull up my gip gun and show you all what it's got. Marvelous. After a moment, a face appears in the small window carved into the front door. It's Lady Hissa, who would like to know why you are disturbing her.
Hello, Lady Hissa. We
Yes.
we were looking for a gift for Strahd, and we heard he liked glowing flowers. We were wondering if you could help us.
Her eyes almost immediately squint until they are sharp as needles once you drop his name. You wish to give a man who will outlive any bouquet some flowers. What flowers are you even thinking of?
I read something about he likes glowing flowers of some measure. I don't know the plants of this region very well.
As newcomers tend to. Well, you You see her thinking for a moment, scratching her chin. I think I have just the bouquet full. Strahd. She pushes her door open. The vines, which you are pretty sure would obstruct any attempt to open the door, just cleanly bend with the hinges. With this pleasant little cracking and creaking. You see the fine, sharp-looking lady walk over to her flower beds and takes a moment to take it all in. At this moment, you can peek inside of her house if you want to.
That would be rude. I will not do such.
Is Delilah bound by any such ethics?
I'll have a look. I'm not gonna go inside because there's probably magic and shit going on in there, but it wouldn't hurt to look.
The inside of her house is, well, imagine a house. Now imagine someone just grew a whole bunch of plants around it. Small plants and shrubs growing through the cracks in the floorboards. There's hanging vines and moss from the ceiling. It's very, very, very cozy if you like high oxygen environments. You could probably grow a pretty big bug here. Additionally, there's a
Where is
large
it?
there's a large pot over the fire, then several smaller pots, each of which seems to produce their own smells, sounds, and textures. Variety of powders, liquids, and other assorted samples sit on many shelves. And there's a desk littered with all kinds of papers, and, well, she sure knows what she's doing. Probably. Why else would you have a ruler, a compass, and all those other fancy mathematical tools? Honestly, you could probably steal any one of those and give it a sip, and something exciting would happen nonetheless. What's Shashka doing? Because this place is kind of silly. And it's now starting to smell all weird. Because, the smell
Well,
comes out of the house.
I mean, Shaska's gonna, sniff at Morgantha, because, I mean, Shaska would recognize her smell from their interaction, and then she tried to look friendly. She does be good looking friendly, she just kind of looks derpy.
Looks like a dumb little dog. Sure that dog's
What?
okay? Sure you don't want to give him, like, some Ritalin? Looks a little distracted. Oh no, my child has spent 2 seconds of his life not paying the fullest possible attention to something. He must have ADHD. Time to start him on a long life of drugs. And also, putting myself in deep debt paying for medicines I can't even afford. The sensible thing to do when your child has moderate concentration problems. Anyway, I say that, but it was true for me.
Yeah, it's a weird stance. to take,
Actually,
you're
I don't know if it's true. Because the weird thing is that I got a lot better when I stopped taking my medicine. That's a weird thing I've never actually reflected upon. What a wacky world we live in, huh? Anyway, kids. Oh my god, now that I think about it. Ugh. Point is that after a moment, she will bring you a fine, glowing bouquet of flowers. Though they're not. You know how normally bouquets are like wrapped up in something and like the bottoms are cut off, like at the stems? These are in a small jar of earth, so that they're technically still alive and rooted.
yeah.
The bouquet seems to consist of several very sharp flowers, some of which, well, I don't think any of you are trained in nature or would be able. Nah, you know what? How about y'all roll me your nature anyway? You might just be able to figure out what this look like.
Oh god.
Wow,
That's-
again.
Untrained idiot.
Well, actually, I just realized something about Delilah that makes that 20 all the more appropriate. Delilah, you feel an aversion to these plants. These bulbous, sharp-tipped plants. At least the flowers are bulbous and sharp-tipped. They have a silvery sheen, and, well, there's some other plants in there that have a more polite color. Blue bulbs that look like small crescent moons.
Uh, do you have any nicer plants?
They seem quite nice to me.
Yeah,
In
I mean-
fact, if they have a good aura, then I can probably sense that.
The good aura is a very weird thing to say, but they definitely do emit something. I mean, to be fair, one of the plants has like the silvery glowing bulbs are very obviously shaped like garlics. Bulbous, sharp-tipped. Little gloves of garlic. Which,
Well, thank you for the help. Do we owe you anything? What you Crucius, you carry them. I don't want to go anywhere near those things.
No,
Verily.
you've already helped me. Just take good care of them. Water them once a day. And be sure to change pots when their roots get out the bottom. Wouldn't want you delivering dead plants, would I?
Good point.
That would be improper form. I appreciate this.
You're in proper form. Heh, got him.
Nailed
Yeah, baby.
Well,
Huh.
thank you, my lady. I will take these plants with me then.
You have a good day, dears. She makes her way to our little cottage, slowly closes the door behind her, and then you see her peeking out the window, watching for you to leave.
Which I am.
You hear a soft snickering as you leave your way out. Well, you've got a really nice looking bouquet of glowing flowers.
Yeah, all I knew was I need glowing flowers. This is perfect.
Even if Delilah would personally not be anywhere near them.
Yeah, I'm like giving Crucius a wide berth while he's carrying them. Just like.
She.
I imagine Shashka's like following behind, like snoot high, going, "Oh, that smells funny."
Yeah, she's sniffing the flowers, but she's also, trying to help, get them back.
No,
'cause-
no, please, mentally envision a little pupper with walking like a little pupper waddle, and it's like snoots and faces all high, like.
Something smells nice, but it's too high for them to get close to sniff.
like, every now and then she's kind of trying to climb up on Crixus to, sniff at the flower.
Luckily, on your way back, it seems as if you're not going to run into any problems. The woods seem to be nice now. That's great.
Woo. How wonderful.
Delilah. No, wait. Martha, excuse me. There's too many ladies in this group. I can't keep them apart. How is it possible that an angel, a very pale vampire, and a normal lady would all look so similar to me? I can't tell them apart. They're all ladies. They're all.
I can only see boobers.
Even if they are
Oh,
of
yeah,
different
but look at
sizes,
the
I can't tell them apart. Listen. I personally really do love people who say the X, like the man, the person, and then like appending another the, because it makes it sound extra silly. Take me to the female. Show me the place. Onward, my. Okay, Martha, point is, you are all alone for much of what's happening. The Vistani don't seem to show up, which is lucky for you, because without your friends to pour some nice cold water down the back of your shirt, they would have probably gotten you to fess something up you didn't want to. Or worse, they would have brought you a few nice free drinks. And chatted you up real nice. Ooh, what a terrible shame. Unfortunately, going to have to die of social needs, because, honestly, the more frustrated Anthony becomes, the more he just stops talking and just starts grumbling.
Martha's had a couple drinks.
Oh no.
Martha's been having to deal with this all day. She's needing those
Can you roll me a fort save then, to see what your drunkenness causes?
All right then.
Cool. You know what's gonna happen? When you guys come back, you see Martha like unconscious, sleeping on the table with her head. There's like a half-finished tankard of beer next to her, and there's no sign of your ward.
Oh, great.
Ah, god dang it. I'm gonna put the flowers by Martha. She can get those later. She's drunk. Time to go see if Shaska.
Bork.
Shaska kind of shoves at Martha to try to wake her up.
Gets on the table and like
Shaska.
puts her paw on Sash. Martha.
We need you to find that guy.
Yeah, I can find them. I got him.
Martha, you're drunk. Go home.
Where'd he go?
You wanted to go home in this economy?
But I can find good old Foxy.
Good old Foxy.
You should probably go
Martha,
to bed.
by the way, your memory does not contain the memories. Your memories do not contain the memory of knowing where he went.
Do you remember at least who he went with?
Nah, he probably just kind of wandered off. You know how nobles are; they get bored easily. Probably need some entertainment. Are there any horrors?
Well, that's rather blunt.
Delilah, I don't think we're gonna have much help here.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go
Give
ask
me
the
a hint.
barkeeper.
We can put her in the bedroom at least. Doesn't end up, drowning in a lake.
If you do that, I will ask the barkeeper if they saw anything.
Come on, man.
You walk up to the pudgy little man with his finely combed, greasy hair. Honestly, his hair's so greasy it probably just stays in shape over time.
Great, he's a greaser.
Hasn't moved in 20 years.
I don't even have to comb it.
I could kill a man if I headbutt him.
He watches you approach and just goes off with a what you need.
Well, our employer was at that table with our extremely drunk friend. Did you happen to see where he went?
Hmm. I mean, to be fair, a barkeep generally doesn't leave the table, but he might be able to tell you who he went with. If I can pull up a section, because he's not in my NPC sheet. Yet, he'll be there in the future. Awesome, it's taking a moment. I swear this is. I'm normally not this impotent. Oh, there we go. It's all loaded in. Cool. I'm looking for. What the heck? He's not a new creature. He's a man. Punch. Here. Almost there. Almost there. There we go. Uh. There we go. Ooh. You went with Argyle. Lovish.
What?
He went with Argyle and Lovish.
Those are the Vistani.
Yep.
Okay, that's what we needed. Thank you, sir. I knew that staying at your establishment would be a good choice.
Little fart noise.
Except that part. Okay, so now I await the return of Delilah.
Yeah, like I come back downstairs. Hair's probably a mess because Martha's probably wouldn't have gone quietly.
And
It's the Vistani.
she'd probably tell, I'd be like, tell Shaska to sniff the butt seat.
You probably don't even remember what seat he was sitting in. So he sniffs the wrong butt.
We end up at some random guy's house. It's like, oh, I'm sorry, we were following your butt.
I don't think that explanation is going to work with anyone.
Well, if it does, that's probably a problem.
Oh no! He's a weirdo!
I figured it'd be the only other chair there, but yeah.
Point is, as you have this delightful little argument, Sashka starts barking. They found him. Yeah, haha! She's found him.
Up.
Oh, great, he's a Korok.
It's your fine person, Mr. Foxglove, being escorted by two gentlemen.
Those aren't the Vistani.
The Vistani are the gentlemen that are escorting him.
Yeah, they're out. Must be not the ones we recognize then. So
One of them is a fine gentleman with long hair, a nice moustache, and a goatee to match. He's got the features of a Very dazzling man, although his hair could use a little bit of work. It's a little too dirty, even if it's combed and fresh. He's got a popped up collar and a rather colorful jacket over it. His other friend is more modestly dressed, but is a hulk of a man, with a rugged beard and the sharp haircut to match. Which is to say that the haircut is all spiky, not that it's actually like sharply cut or anything. The two of them are escorting your fine ward, having a friendly chat with him, by the looks of it. What do you do?
I am going to approach and try to see if I can extricate our employer.
Yeah, I'm going as well.
Your employer looks obviously inebriated in some capacity. Woozy, if I may. He's got that wooze going on.
Foxglove, didn't you have a job to be doing today? What did you and the other one get up to?
Oh, hey. I don't get it done. Hey, this is my new friend, Mr. Aragale? Um, yes, yeah. He said he said he wanted to show me a few things, and I just could. I mean, Martha over there had fallen asleep, so I thought I might as well. It's not like anything good happening here.
And what was he showing you?
You can see the gears turning on his head in his eyes. Uh, huh. I don't really remember all that well. But we did have a nice friendly chat. Yes, we did.
And what were you chatting about?
Rigil steps in, standing in front of him, holding out his hand. He would like to for someone to shake it.
I will accept that then, firmly.
He has a very firm handshake to right back at you, buckaroo. I just... Okay, that's just silly. Okay, so I didn't know this was possible, but apparently this NPC sheet that that I have here has it organized charisma, constitution, dexterity, intelligence, strength, wisdom, which is not the proper order. That is, I'm pretty sure alphabetically. Hilarious.
Illegal.
You can't organize them alphabetically.
Shaska lifts her paw for a shake.
Shaska takes the handshake.
Sashka, no! You just officiated a deal. You don't know what it is.
Greetings, person.
Arago. Or Gale, everyone does their own way, but... Is there a problem that I take your fine guest away on a trip? He was all by his
Yes.
lonesome. I did not take him without his permission.
You know, inebriation does not imply consent under most jurisdictions.
That implies that I did something that requires consent beyond just taking him out for a little stroll.
He seems to be a little confused of what occurred. Could you give me the rundown for our charge?
I think you should be more concerned with the fact that he seems a little bit sleepy. And a little dazed, more than anything. Probably the alcohol your own friend so gladly fed him.
Knowing what I do about dark creatures, I'm going to quickly glance over and look at his neck.
Well, he has a neck, so good on you.
Okay, no bite marks. Good.
He's not one of those necklace wonders.
I mean,
He's
with
not Rayman.
considering his
Right.
popped-up collar, he'd be very blatant about it. Like, no effort to hide it, if there was one.
We'll take care of him. However, I do question exactly what's been going on with him.
Excuse me, are you accusing me of something?
Not you in particular. Just curious where he was, what occurred. Again, we were hired to protect him. That is our job.
I assure you, it is nothing too
Said
concerning.
Martha.
I just took him out for a little round trip, asked some questions, made some friends. You know, perfectly legal, above the table things. Now, I think we're done here, and he probably would like to get a nap. You two also look a little, worn, is the term, isn't it?
I took a walk.
Yes, and by the looks of it, it was quite the mighty walk with plenty of mud. Consider polishing your boots before you come by our fine camp. Oh, in case you do wish to come by, we are just outside of Falaki. Just a little south of the western gate. You can't miss the little trails leading up to it. I think, and I think you'll agree, that it'll be a good meeting moment once you have the time.
Hmm. You know, you keep saying you didn't do anything, but you keep having that little evil snicker. I don't know how to take that. Kind of mixed signals. So I hear that from everybody here. I wonder if that's a regional dialect.
It's called the Dark Souls accent. Please don't mock them.
Yeah, we have to
Yeah,
edit
she's-
every 4 to 5 minutes of chuckling.
Yeah, she's actually confused because
I-
she's heard it from like 90% of people she's talked to here.
I still love the fucking Tumblr post where the character they try to like condense all of Dark Souls speech, and it's just the worst line of text in the world.
Dead ass shit, dude. It's so good.
No. We'll back off. No need to get too aggressive. He does like step away towards the door and says the invitation still stands. Come on by, say hello, make some friends. It would do you good in a place you're not familiar with.
We'll consider what will happen. But we have to see to our charge first.
His safety is a primary concern.
Okay, listen. I have to say this line every time I see it. Here we go. Shit ass dead dude. Knowst thou of Hellfuck Castle, high in the mountain? It was once the domain of King Big Sad Guy, who did the flame thing. Legend tells of the castle's new steward, the great and terrible horse dog. But who is to say that it still roams the halls? Oh, how silly of me. But of course, a new arrival in Dang Ranthric wouldst know not such tales, one such as thee. Wouldst be better suited to sharpen the blades of the dreaded wraith of why they put another fucking swamp level marsh armor type of dude. That is, if thou canst livest that's longest.
I love
Literally how they all talk. They're
That
usually
was-
more vague than that.
Martha cannot see through the laughter. Listen, you keep yelling at me for chuckling, but you all seem to chuckle too. So I think you're the sus here. I call sus on my party. Watch me slam the button. I call sus on my party.
Wait, no, I don't want to whoop out in space.
I'm outnumbered. I have to use my special power, veto, and I pull like an Uno card on the table. It's reverse Uno. So instead of me, everyone else gets sent out.
Oh no. The secret technique.
I personally love people taking cards and accoutrements of other games, using them in weird ways. Could
Or
fruit
this
bowls soon replace Bitcoin? Top Economy said, wait, but I'm not sure I understand the question.
It's your turn. Red Eyes Black Dragon.
Personally, I'd love it if like everyone is like quick draw their own Yu-Gi-Oh decks and goes, "You thought we weren't ready, punk." And one of them
So
just
the
fucking
other guy
tosses out a.
turns
Another guy plays a fucking blue counter instant.
No. they all go through their different games, and then they get to the last person who just turns around his 5 card hand, and it's fucking Exodia. I won
Of
last
course.
turn, bitches.
I had a full house on blackjack. How did this happen?
Royal
I
flush.
play Blue
Exodia.
Eyes White Dragon. Counter spell. Well, my Charizard uses flamethrower. Ah, damn, this is getting tough.
I'm using magic missile. Does 1d4 damage randomly to 3 different creatures.
Vin Diesel's bleached asshole.
Oh my god, someone... And then someone plays an apples to apples card. He just looks so innocent. This is the ultimate game of Uno. Did you
All
know that the
games,
people
the
behind Uno
rules
said that
just
you don't
like-
have to call Uno? They said that, and everyone was like, "We're whiny babies. We're not gonna no."
I mean, nobody knows any of the rules.
Oh,
Generally
yeah,
speaking, people do not know the rules of the games they play.
that's same
Yeah.
for Monopoly.
Because if you play the Monopoly rules as they're meant to be played, you'll just murder each other.
It goes faster, but on the plus side, you learn the lesson the game is to teach you a lot faster too.
Because playing 16 hours of Monopoly is fun. Question mark.
I honestly still do not get why people think that is a fun thing. Like, is the common man so ridiculously stupid that they cannot understand that they are not enjoying themselves? Do they not
To be honest-
understand that people tend to
Wait, no.
yeah.
It's right here.
What
The
do you-
actual rulebook says you have to say Uno.
Really? Because the Twitter Uno said otherwise.
And the
The player who forgets to say Uno before his card touches the discard pile but catches himself before any other player catches him is safe and not subject to the penalty.
yeah, like it's only if you get called out.
Yeah, as long as you say it before your turn ends.
What kind of fucking Mexican ass quick draw is this?
The real
Uno?
way to play it.
In the Uno video game has an Uno button you have to press, otherwise you have to draw cards.
Also, can I just say that the fact that there are thousands of chimney on the Barovia village map is I'm pretty sure there are people with that whole phobia who are like looking at this map going, why did they detail all of them?
Wait.
Why
There's a
does Amaterasu have a butthole?
Just in
Okay,
case.
so the Wild Draw 4 card actually has a rule that if you play it and you have a card you could have played before, someone can call you out on it. And if you did have a card, you have to draw 4 cards. But if you didn't have a card, they have to draw the 4 cards for you.
There's a ton of rules and house
Welcome to
rules.
Barovia, where everyone knows the rules to Uno.
But they all know slightly different house rules. So they're always fighting each other over them.
Personally, I love the idea of a place where all grudges are settled not through Yu-Gi-Oh or anything, but settled through Uno.
Like apparently there's a rule where if you put down a 7, you could swap your hands with someone else.
Yeah. Like I didn't
it-
know until recently that having to say double Uno when you have 2 cards wasn't a actual rule of Uno, and that was just a thing my
It would
family
be-
made up.
Well, yeah, because that would be dose.
Yeah.
What the heck is this? 9 hours. At this rate, America's gonna have no people left in a few days.
In like a month.
Yeah.
It's funny because, yeah, now you fucking care, Fox News.
Is that actually something they ran?
Yeah.
Well, I think this one's been edited.
No. They mentioned how many people have died from COVID and stuff. And they're trying to use that against Biden.
You know,
Very
Biden-
badly.
Who
You
in
know-
his one day of office hasn't magically resurrected everyone in the country using dark magic?
We found this news report that we hid under a stack of papers that says that people are dying. It's not our fault we're late, but it's Biden's. Point is, kids,
Yeah, well, we got distracted.
Mr. Aragorn
Yeah,
was
save
taking
your
was
boy.
taking his leaves after extending an invitation.
Yep, and I am remembering that, but not going right now. Because we need to
Marvelous.
go and double check our employer.
He is indeed, as Aragorn told you, very sleepy. He is like fall over sleepy.
Can I tell if he's been under the effect of any magic or anything?
Not magic. But it looks a little too much for just some normal alcohol, unless they like really got him hammered.
Mm. Yeah. So we can probably take him back to our rooms and stuff, and
Give him the once over.
yeah, stay guard by his room during the night, just in case. I doubt anything will happen, but we're on edge.
All right, you decide to keep watch that night. Can I get a 1d3 so we can see who at night will have a spooky encounter and see
Please
just
don't
how.
be me again.
Well, luckily, Crucius, it's gonna be Martha. Well, it could be.
Martha reroll.
I
Just in
appreciate
case.
that Crucius rolls Martha and Martha rolls Crucius.
No, I rolled myself.
No, I rolled me.
No, I'm counting
No.
from the player list, like
Oh,
top to
okay.
bottom.
Just pointing at a gun at each other.
Fucking
No, you're gonna have the bad dream.
the Spider-Man thing. They're like pointing at each other.
Wait. I just learned something. Sorry, this is going to distract me for a moment. Okay. This is Big Bird.
Oh yeah, the
BB.
regional big birds.
This is
Oh, that's
Dutch
nice.
Big Bird.
Yes, and he doesn't have the same name.
Why is he blue?
Yeah, it's probably in Dutch.
From Strahd.
I mean, I liked you noticed that he's blue, but you also didn't notice that his beak is a different color too.
And then there's Mexican Big Bird.
It's probably due to regional things because canary is a big
Yeah,
bird.
like-
And then there's the Turkish one.
They have they have different settings and everything. They're all just under the Sesame Street label.
Maybe blue feathers were just the cheapest to purchase. Maybe that's how that works. It's like whatever we can get, we use.
I know, I just did not know this. Also, what's his name in Dutch Sesame Street?
Pino, if I remember
Oh.
correctly.
Aw,
That's pretty easy to remember.
If I remember correctly, I gotta look it up actually.
It's a cute name.
I
for
just
a
did. Yep, it's
small
Pino.
bird.
Hell yeah, I'm fucking smart. I remember this one stupid thing.
Also, how do you
See some
pronounce that from
Strahd.
Strahd?
Ooh, actually, it has on the Wikipedia. It does actually specifically mention it. Let's see. The color's not the same in every country. The American version, he's yellow. Okay. Oh, this color difference was a condition that Sesame Street put up if you want to take on the character.
Huh.
Oh my goodness! In the translated booklets, which are not colored in again, so the yellow bird's still in it. The yellow bird is called Cousin Yum, or basically Cousin John. That's hilarious. Sometimes he's literally just called Big Bird, which is not alliterate or look as good in Dutch. That's awesome. That's so stupid. I love that it's a condition. If you want to take him, you gotta splash him with some fresh colors.
Gotta make yours
Can't-
unique.
Can't have ours. This one's special. Make your own.
Apparent. Holy crap, man, dude. The actor. Okay. Wow. In order to move the beak, you have to hold your hand over your head. Like there's a little lever there, and apparently there's a monitor inside to see. That's Jesus. That's a complex suit. The right wing is loose or pinned to the body. Jesus. I love how much there's in here. Jesus. What is that? What is that little bug baby?
It's a Megalopagus.
It's a little baby man.
They
What it
are
is.
adorable, but also danger boys.
Meow.
That feel when you got the Numies.
They can bite, and victims have described the pain as roughly the same as a broken arm.
Great.
He's
So-
small, but he bite.
Violence, boys.
Yeah, danger boy.
Do not bully this tiny baby.
Eh.
He'll bully you back.
Ba ba bum.
Anyways, let's keep going.
Yeah, I'll be back in 1 sec.
Haha, a whole second, you say?
Okay, well, Dizzy is up. One of my favorite that I've ever found, which I always find again, this.
Jesus.
That's what I call an explosive start. Oh,
God dang. Bull. So this is what happens in small Chinese cities.
there's nothing to do. Let's shoot a man directly into a wall.
At just so much speed.
He broke the speed record for dying.
Yeah, the literal translation is "Where did you fly to?" I think he's dead.
Golly.
Gosh and golly gee.
Look at that video I posted for you going Dizzy. I love it.
Yeah, I remember that post.
God, that is one of my favorites.
Dee 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 dee
God,
dee.
God, the way he fucking tweens out of frame so quickly.
Yeah, he's just gone. Anyways, I am ready.
Handsome. But is Martha here?
Yeah.
Bah. Alright, well, in order to compromise, I'll say that Delilah's the one who gets this delightful view.
Wow.
How fair is that? None at all.
Rude.
Oh no, wait, I think Delilah already had a bad dream, so sure, we'll go with Martha. Martha,
Oh boy.
as you keep the watch at night, you hear strange sounds outside. The moon is dim, the fog is thin, and there's the smell of rotting flesh in the air.
Hmm. That's unnerving.
Just gonna ignore it?
I mean, how strong is the rotting flesh smell?
Could be like right outside your window.
I'm gonna peek my head outside the window.
You peek outside of the window. In the very slim star and moonlight, you see a congregation of what probably aren't people, judging by how they seem to move about without any additional sources of light, and shamble, as if many of their bones are broken and their muscles have lost their vigor. Is that Mona Lisa cradling a possum? God damn it.
That is the right version of Mona Lisa.
Love possums. They're great. But what you see isn't quite as great. This theatrical play of a whole gathering of non-living creatures. They form this sort of parade line, allowing a spectral line of adventurers to walk through.
Spectral line of adventurers.
Yes, a line of ghostly figures who all have, like, adventuring gear. They have backpacks on their back with bedrolls on top, weapons on them, sporadic armor, battle bikinis.
They're waiting to go on the roller coaster.
They all march forward as if driven by inevitability outside of town, leaving through the west exit. The hordes of rotting meat form sort of the people watching as they leave. Must be a cool parade if they're all gathered around for this.
Yeah, I'm just gonna keep note of what direction they're going.
As
To
I
the
mentioned,
east?
they come from the graveyard, by the looks of it. So the best you can see from this window, and leave towards the west. Will you just keep an eye out on this as it takes place, as this procession takes place?
Yeah, I'm not gonna be able to sleep for a while as that's going on, but you know,
Eventually, as it starts to die down, you watch as the many heaps of flesh move their way towards the buildings in the area. You can't quite make out where they go, but they might still be around in the morning light, hiding in basements, attics, or in houses all to themselves. The morning comes. Crucius, it was your shift when the morning came around, so you're the one who doesn't technically get to sleep because you're already already awake when everyone else wakes up.
Yay, I'm awake.
Downstairs is the smell of meat being roasted, a soup being boiled, and of course the merriment of people who are having a drink.
I'll pass on the meat.
You? We're not happy with you.
Yeah.
Oh, why is that?
Ms. Protect the boss, hang with the boss, take care of the boss.
Help the boss get
really
ready
drunk.
for his meeting, not get wasted. You had like 2 jobs.
You weren't there.
I did neither of them.
Yeah.
You never heard a man call foliage, and you never had to think about forks and spoons and knives and how to position them and soups and you know bureaucracy.
Yeah, but they stole our guy.
Is he still missing?
No,
They brought him back, but we don't know what they did to him because he was more wasted than you.
Yeah, probably drugged to some extent.
But no. I'm gonna check on Fox though. Just be like,
Yeah, you better.
I mean he's still sleeping. He's getting in a long day by the looks of it.
all right, you know what? I had a weird night last night.
Yeah, you probably did, I bet.
No, I don't think you understand the weird night I had. Uh, there were there was a parade of like rowdy people walking through the streets last night. It was messed up.
We came back at night and we didn't see any of that. Are
Well,
you
he came
sure?
back in like the evening, not like at night.
We
No,
were
this
also
was like
taking
during their
shifts.
this was during their guard shift of Foxglove. So after you'd already returned.
Yeah, so I'm gonna just get like a glass of you know something like water or milk or something non-alcoholic. Then I'm gonna walk out to the street where I saw the parade. Be like,
Taking a close look around, you think such a parade would leave a lot of footprints, but you can't find any. Like a lot of those people were standing still for a while, their feet easily could have sunk into the mud and left a deep impression, but you find none. What you do find is a lady trying to pawn off her fine herbs and another lady trying to pawn off her fine pies.
Back at it again. And that grind.
The daily grind, selling pies, filled with hopes and dreams.
uh,
And other stuff. Wink.
well, then I'm gonna just approach the lady who told us to leave flowers at her friend's grave. I think that was Morgantha.
I believe so.
It was the Elder Witch. So I think
Yeah,
it's
the Pie Witch.
yeah,
What's this
yeah,
about Morgantha?
yeah. I'm just gonna walk up to her since she had dealings with the graveyard, as I feel like. So
Yeah, the spooky
grandmother.
corpse trying to strangle you, or was it?
Yeah. Well, it tried to strangle Crucius.
Crucius.
Uh, grandmother. Um, have you ever? I mean, you lived here for a while. have you ever heard or seen anything weird at night pertaining to the grave?
The barkeep?
No, the grandmother, that elderly.
Morgantha? Or.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
So one of us is about the flowers.
Morgantha, the alchemist hag, the one who runs the pie shop.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, what do you mean weird things that happen? An idea?
Um, last night I noticed like a strange procession of shambly bodies walking from the graveyard down the road.
Oh
And
dear. Don't worry about those things, they're perfectly harmless as long as you don't make too much of a fuss.
oh, so this is normal.
Oh, there's plenty around this place that's normal.
Oh, then. Thank you for
Just be careful, dear. I
thanks
heard
for
they're
informing me.
very hungry sometimes.
I will do my best to be careful, grandmother. But thank you. I will go back to my house now, and I will enjoy those pies that you gave me because
Mm-hmm.
he looks scrumptious
Mm-hmm.
back inside. So, what do you two do yesterday while I was
We went and
busy?
got the gift flowers that we are supposed to do. Talked to an old woman. Didn't lose our employer.
You really hung up on this.
Yes.
You can't lose what you don't have.
Though something tells me the lady we spoke to, Lady Hissa, out in the woods, had some kind. Didn't like Strahd.
I don't think a lot of people like him.
I mean, yeah, but to the point where I think giving him those flowers is probably a bad idea.
She did do that like little chuckle thing at the end, but they all seem to do that here. I think it is just how they pronounce periods.
It's probably nothing, but I just get a super, super bad vibe from those things.
Well, that's up to you, if you've got a bad feeling or not. Your boss will eventually very groggily make their way from upstairs to downstairs.
Oh, look who's not dead.
He does look like he has a massive headache, considering that he's constantly grasping at his head.
Well, you deserve it.
If only you could taste the, oh on his face. What a backhand.
Martha probably can.
Yeah, Martha should
Feeling
be
the
pretty
same
hungover
way.
too.
And being treated the same way.
Just because I decided to endear myself with the local individuals, the local culture, the local colors. Can't just yell at me.
You also had a job to do.
And I did it. And then she fell asleep. And the job could no longer be done.
Yeah, but
And then you got wasted.
I think we got our work done though. I mean, we had fun.
I mean, I was a little bit drunk by the end of it, yes. Martha
little
insisted
bit.
after a while to keep buying drinks. How am I supposed to be blamable for the fact that your friend is such an alcoholic?
I'm not even gonna defend myself. I did get a split, so I was drunk, and I'll just acknowledge that.
Well, we only have a few more days left. We should focus on what matters. We can get this matter settled soon as we can, and then you can do whatever you want when I go my own way. How does that sound?
Fair enough.
I would just prefer for you not to die until then.
Well, I've been able to do that just fine so far, haven't I?
Not for lack of trying.
Honestly, I almost have half a mind to send you away with a attitude
No,
like
no,
that.
no need to be, begrudging, Cruxus, Anthony. We're all friends and employers and allies in this endeavor to get a treaty done between
He's
Lord,
not. There's no treaty. He's wanting to buy stuff.
getting this,
Deal.
procurement deal done between our dear Foxglove and Lord Strahd.
And then you fall over from the hangover catching up to you.
What she said. Should not playing any blame game. Should be focusing on the matter at hand. Yes.
Very well. Well, we have some kind of a gift that we managed to purchase yesterday. These flowers.
Ooh, Chloe.
Yes, yes. That's most delightful.
But yeah, I've got a bad feeling about them, but I can't really pin my finger on exactly what or why. But I don't know if they're the best.
Well, I like them. They smell nice and they look nice. Do they not remind you of a beautiful, romantic, moonlit evening? The flowers softened with dews, glistening like stars in the field. Ah, beautiful.
They remind me more of candles at a funeral, but
Edgy.
no, but not in a good way.
It's like you see a beer and it's like, ugh, that reminds me of like drinking after my dad dies. Ugh.
God, I
Not
love
all
these
flowers
flowers.
look-
They remind me of people being dead.
Happy
I enjoy
birthday!
good things.
Happy birthday! It's like, oh man, birthdays remind me of dying.
Every birthday reminds me that we're just stuck in this terrible life.
The
It's
level's just
perfect.
more dejected when it notices how
Ugh.
edgy that sounds. Just like, oh.
You get your paycheck and it's like the Christmas bonus on top, and he's like, "Merry Christmas, everyone!" And decided to give you an extra big bonus. Like, oh, that just reminds me that I have to work every day. It's just a constant mood killer. The only murder you commit is the point is, he would like to focus on what matters at hand.
Also, can I take a look at those flowers? See if I can recognize them.
You're hungover, but go ahead and try.
All right.
Nature, nature.
Gosh, that hangover didn't stop you too much, huh?
What
I'm
are
better hungover.
I mean, this is her job.
Well, in that
Understand
case,
nature.
I'll just straight up tell you that those. So, most of these are just pretty flowers that are used in some miscellaneous recipes, but the part that gets you the most is that the garlic plants are like specifically meant to repel vampires. They've been like cultivated for it.
Oh.
Delilah's only partially affected by it. You're pretty sure a proper spawn or such would be like, whoa, blee.
Yeah.
Hey, this would be useful to keep around us.
It's probably why I can still be in the same room.
So yeah, these are very standard flowers, but a little occulty, anti-vampirish. Well,
That
anti.
just makes it a more thoughtful gift.
I mean,
Vampires are usually not known for their niceness.
Yeah.
They are not known for being people I want to be around. Let's put it like that.
So it probably is just me then. Probably won't worry anyone else.
Yes, we
well-
should. Yes. So, what are we going to do today, everyone? We only have 2 more days left, and we need to make sure that we make the most of it.
Well, you
Well,
got
we-
some of your speaking down.
I think we should
got
try.
the gift.
Is anyone here good with negotiations? I need to make sure that I don't get haggled into a bad price. They always get me.
I mean,
I'm relatively good. Since Martha has kind of lost her qualifications, I guess I can help.
I study the laws of the area. I can help you understand the trade agreements if there are any.
Excellent. We'll go with that one.
Alright. In the meantime, I guess I'll.
You can still
Continue.
scrounge up some things that Strahd might like to know, like you might want to know about Strahd, or you can, see if you can find a gift at the local store, or maybe see if there's merchant around town. I mean, apparently this town gets active trade, so maybe there's someone around if you just look close enough.
Oh,
Mm,
how about some fancy duds since we're gonna see the Lord?
Exactly. Well, I mean, your noble boss definitely has fancy duds. It's gonna be for you.
Yeah, I I time to put a little over the armor to class it up a bit.
yeah. Given that the only merchants we know of are a blacksmith and like a bunch of like herbalists
Maybe there is a
and
tailor in town and you just never asked.
yeah, looking for merchants and shops and stuff would probably be a good idea. That way we can either find more gifts or find some better equipment, well, quote unquote better equipment for our meeting
Cool.
that isn't blood-stained armor.
Let's get down to it, kids. Crucius, roll me that legal lore check to see if you can teach your friend a
Legal
couple of good,
lore.
solid negotiation techniques. Well,
I'm a hero point. I want to
sure, you got a lot of them. Jesus. Apparently,
Wow. How long
Wow.
does it? Okay, it took me that many rolls to get something above.
Cool. Eventually, you give him some good tips. Not for lack of trying. It's him that's the problem here because he's either overly antagonistic, like he misunderstands that part, or he's too nice. It's very hard to get him to hit that sweet spot where he actually negotiates.
Now you know why I drink.
In the meantime, you guys find yourself around town. You walk up to a peasant, give him the old hello, and find your way to a tailor after going like, "Hey, listen, I gotta tear my clothes. Where do I go?" You eventually find a delightfully delicate shop, filled to the brim with cloths, bolts of silk, bolts of cotton, and the works. Plenty of thread, colorful threads, shiny threads. Ooh, magical crystals that you could use to give an outfit a little extra pop. Several mannequins of the lot. And of course, a single person sitting down with needles in his mouth, thread in the needle he's wielding as he's sewing some things together. Looks like a tailor shop, all right. Smells like one too. Very, very heavy dye air here.
Before we start diving in and negotiating, how much do we have funding, or is this like going into?
I'm sure you could ask this back when you get paid.
Yeah, probably.
Or, now you got a cool, classy outfit for later. You never know when you need to be classy.
In that case, I'll like approach the shopkeep and just kind of, hello. We were looking to see if we could purchase some fine outfits for a high class business meeting. We want to make a good impression.
You see him like, he scratches his head. Oh, yeah. So what are you? So are you looking for like an outfit or like some accoutrements to pad out a little bit, or are you looking for something just to bling it out, like your rings, your fingers, something?
Well, given our current outfits are these, I just kind of gesture to my tatty clothes over leather armor. It's like,
So
uh,
I mean, I got like overcoats, tabards, what are they called? I got a lot of things that you could just wear over it if you don't want to save yourself the trouble. Because if I
You
was
give us
making you
a
an
nice
actual outfit, I don't know if you got the time for that. It takes a little bit of time. Gotta get the measurements. Gotta get the mannequin right. All those things.
yeah, I think that would be sufficient, so long it was as it provide the correct kind of, I guess,
Okay.
mood.
Give me a moment. Give me a moment. Gotta roll the saw up. Gotta roll the saw up. Gotta set it aside. Gotta pluck those needles out of my damn mouth. Let's have a look. See. He takes a look at you. So two sets,
We
Uh,
also have a cutter with us. I'll give a rough description of Crux and the style and
and the dog.
color. Oh yeah, let's get a little brooch that can go on the collar of Shaska.
Yeah, he was thinking like one of those. You know how horses that go to war have like those coats over them? That was what he was thinking.
yeah,
But for a pupper.
Fashionable
fa-
pupper.
yeah, gotta look their best.
Okay, I got you. I should have some things you could just throw over and look a lot better. The two GP pop, except for your pop, it's just two SPs, not much. Just a little thing you drape over them. That sound good? That'll be
Uh,
6-2.
so would I be able to bargain that down with my bargain hunter?
You can definitely give me the appropriate roll and try to see if you can knock him down a bit as you enter a negotiation.
All right. I'm see if I can bring him down some prices.
You what facts do you bring up? Like, what are your negotiation facts?
I'm just gonna be like, since it's only a small addition to our current wardrobes, and a not much work done on your part, just resources of pre-made but slightly altered. I think we could bring the prices a little closer to an in between of you know a good pre-made versus a decent
Ugh.
edition.
He'll
So
he'll let you haggle him down to 4 gold.
It's a solid haggle.
Yeah, man.
what, 4 gold total or 4 gold each?
4 gold total.
And I will slap 4 gold down.
He walks in the back. You hear lots of ruffling, things getting pulled around. Him going like, no, 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 no. Yeah, yes, 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 yes. He comes back out again, holding. Well, one of them is. So did you explain that Crucius wears like armor? Because I think
Yeah,
Crucius wears armor.
yeah, I
Yeah,
gave
we
him
gave like a description of them, so I
I
would
think
assume that would include their armor.
he comes out with like this bottle of like metal polish, and with it a very fancy silk tabard that has rather intricate patterns on it. In what you is that gold or leaf, or is it just like fancy thread? You can't tell. Maybe if you had like tailoring lore, you could easily tell such things apart. Also with him is a fine black overcoat, which Delilah, it's for you. It's got a
Pretty obvious.
silvery, silky sheen to it, and the inside padding is delightfully gentle. And for Martha, well, you look like someone who's a bit tough. He holds up also a very long trench coat. This one looks like it has some reinforcements to give it that extra sturdiness, make you really feel like an explorer, despite being high fashion. And for your pupper, it's just like it's basically a little drape you pull over him, a couple of straps to make sure it stays in place. Just a nice little red little coat for him to wear.
I imagine like Martha's looks really like fancy on the outside, but has like a lot of pockets and stuff on the inside for like keeping.
Oh, it's all about the feel of the outfit, man. This is
Yeah,
urge people want to pretend that they're fancy, adventurous, as they guffaw their way through life. Here you go. With these things, you can't go wrong. You'll look like something at least, which is more than you do right now.
that's the idea.
and that's all we needed to do to look a little better.
Joe, remember to buckle your boots the right way. Ensure that everything points the right direction. Looking proper is more than just the right outfit. Is the right outfit presented in the right way? And it gives you a stern look because he knows that you're not going to do any of that.
A proper
Alrighty.
outfit is 60% attitude.
A good amount of time is spent back at the inn as you try to teach him negotiation tactics after you haggled so nicely. It definitely is an investment of time. It is then, however, as the evening begins to set in, and you've had your fun and explained to Crucius that he should probably polish her armor, that you hear a familiar behind you.
Oh,
Yes.
Hello. I have been informed by my master that you are requested at his castle in the morning. It's riding, and you can hear the whispers in your head from his mere presence alone.
Good to see you again.
I would much rather never see you again, unless it were you melting in a pot of acid.
Wow,
And
friendly, ain't you?
You see, this is why I
I
don't try pleasantries.
I look forward to seeing you again during our meeting if you're gonna be there.
Of course, I will be present. As you are, I am involved in many other activities. As
Of
I
course.
said, be on time. Tardiness is very unbecoming of an individual attempting to impress the local nobility.
And we know how you nobles are. Like, Delilah muddles under her breath.
I strongly recommend that you are ready to leave as early as you can. I will be seeing you at Ravenloft. I certainly don't hope so.
But you know you'll be seeing us there.
You truly cannot leave a man to dream, can you?
Sometimes, no.
If I wasn't bound by his word, we would not be having pleasant conversation. We would
Is that
instead be having my dream come true. Now I will be
Crucius?
seeing you in the morning then. Enjoy your evening. And
Good day, sir.
Sir Strahd sends his regards, Mr. Foxglove. Whoop on his heel and steps off with the firm clack of a march.
Was that pleasant conversation? Is that
I
what we
mean,
call what just happened?
for his type.
God, if that's pleasant, I don't want to see unpleasant.
Maybe he's nicer if he's unpleasant. Maybe we're in one of those places.
And maybe he's just not used to it.
But boy, you really put egg on that dude's face.
Well,
He's, I like to imagine he didn't leave. He stopped at the door and looked back to say something. We're just talking about him.
He's still in earshot, and we're just like, wow, what an asshole.
what a nerd!
Dude, what a douche.
Shouting after him as he leaves, Nerd! Nerd!
And then he walks up and does this to Martha. Yes, I am envisioning him as Snape this whole time.
Wait, why me though?
Well, Fox
Because I think you're the shortest.
Foxglove seems all giddy. It's like, yes, finally, I'm gonna show you all that I've been paying perfectly good attention. I'm perfectly capable of doing this just fine.
No drinks.
Just a nightcap? I can have a nightcap.
No. No.
You're not.
Never drink
I'm the
oil.
one
You really
hiring
want-
you. You can't stop me.
You really want to ride there first thing in the morning hungover?
I won't be hungover. It's a nightcap. It's to sleep good.
You know that doesn't make you rest well.
Fine.
Also, I've been curious, Crucius says, looking at everybody. How do you define nobility? Because my blood comes from, literal angels. Am I noble?
That's not how that works.
Do you have rule over land?
No, you have to be.
I have rule over law.
But
mean,
do you have
a
rule
lot
over
of,
land?
As an
But
archon,
So if-
declare
you
yourself
would know
God,
that.
Queen.
As an archon, you would know that divine lineages are generally appointed, or they're generally rewards for heroism of past deeds and all that. At some point,
I'm
some
just-
gods goes, "You're a god, you're a king now."
Yeah, I'm just thinking Crucius is looking over like all the different laws she knows about. And it's like, but so if I'm a king, it's because a god chose me to be a king. But did that god choose my douchebag kid?
Listen, let's not get too much into details. That's what they told you at law school.
Angel law school.
The angel bar.
Which hell, that actually comes to the question. Yes, if I had rule over land. So if we take the rule of a noble's land away, are they still nobles?
No.
No.
Oh,
that's
okay,
not
so-
how it works.
So are all landowners nobles?
No.
I think you have to own like a certain amount. Like if you just own a house, then you're not technically a noble. I don't think.
But you're the lord of your home.
And that's why they
You
call
see,
it a landlord.
the conventions for these terms are really confusing. Actually, I know the law of like 37 countries.
Handsome.
Crucius is the one person who gets confused about the laws of fantasy worlds.
That's delightful, but how about we focus on the matter at hand, which is that your boss is going to bed as you have this exciting conversation about law.
Yeah, as long as he's going to bed without drinking.
E, eh, oh, oh. Well, he goes to bed without drinking because he's mopey, and he's like, I gotta be good sleepy, sleepy baby. Making his way to bed, his way to bed, his way to bed, his way downtown. Huh. Well, that's something to consider. He makes his way to bed. What do you all do as you sit around for the evening?
Well, I assume we set up our watch again.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah. And prepare the
especially
cart for tomorrow.
especially since this is right before the big meeting. We don't want anything going wrong in the middle of the night.
Excellent. You set up your watches, and I need a 1d3 from. How about Martha, since you were the one who was last exposed to unpleasantness at night? Crucius is the one who's going to have to deal with this one today.
Not again.
Not Crucius. Crucius. It is nighttime. You are sitting in your boss's room, making sure that everything's fine. Keeping watch, keeping an eye out. Door slightly open so you can peek outside if you need to. See any assassins coming in. Your ears pick up a distinct sound. The flapping of wings. Very large wings, getting ever closer. Leathery wings, by the sounds of it.
Well, likely it's not coming for us, but just to be sure, out comes the sword.
As your sword
I don't.
rasps against the sheath. Because,
It's an
that's a
oiled
great way to treat your
scabbard.
sword.
It's an oiled scabbard.
Listen, if it doesn't make noise, it doesn't make the lightsaber noise. It doesn't turn on.
Yeah, it
Can it make-
goes.
Can it be a lightsaber? Just
Well,
God, that'd be irritating.
If you put enough blessings on it, probably.
I'll get there one day.
One
ahead, Sam.
day. The point is that the sound gets so close that eventually it stops, but only because someone has landed in the windowsill. It seems to be fully aware of everything in the room because it looks at you. Is there a light source in the room? Did you put up like a little thing that helps you see?
I assume there's at least like an oil lamp.
I mean,
And my wings.
oh gosh.
Nightlight.
Look, if I have my wings extended, they're energy wings.
It's really hard to sleep with Crucius in the room.
I can turn them off.
But do
I-
you?
Not often, but I can also give them to you.
Here you go. Here you go,
It's actually
sport.
a feat of mine, by the way. I can put my wings on you as a form of feather fall.
Here you go, sport. Your
That's
wings are your
more-
own. I don't think Featherfall's what you're going to be needing, because this thing looks and sees you, unleashes an unearthly sharp hiss. It looks like a human, but it has none of the actings. It is feral like a beast. And judging by its drooling mouth, it is hungry, which is probably why it's reaching towards the man in the bed. Its hands do not end in nails, they end in sharp points, bony points. He's gonna grab your boss, man.
Ah, boy, I'm gonna have to take care of this. See, I need to get my stuff set up. Okay, I'm gonna step forward. I'm gonna just try to, cut its arm off.
I really appreciate your go-get-'em attitude. Show me the goods.
Okay. I just need to get to the right tab. I'm used to the Call of Cthulhu sheet now at this point. Actions.
Don't we all use the Call of Cthulhu sheet?
Sword.
No.
It's not very sword of you. Oh my god, that wing gif. I like how you can tell the
It's
mechanisms.
so obviously mechanical. Great.
Why are my rolls so bad today?
I don't know why did Claire roll 2 freaking 1% rolls.
I don't know how she got 2 100s yesterday. That was amazing.
She critically fumbled twice in Jesus, how do you even do that? How?
I mean, the odds of even doing it once are ridiculous.
Marvelous. Point is that you do not land a hit. And this creature hisses at you. Shh, and flings its hand to strike you. It's a backhand, by the way.
Slap.
Oh no, he's probably going to leave a fat, wicked scar on your face, which is hella cool, but also very bad for your image.
That'll make me look so cool.
1d20 plus 18. No, not 1d10.
18.
Oh wait, yeah. Yup. I just need to make sure that he's not critting you or anything. He lashes against you with incredible force. It is a cut the likes of which you are unfamiliar with. You have not faced a being so deadly in your life as it slaps you, taking a lot of you with it.
That is a lot of my health.
It is at that point that you notice that he has taken your boss and drawn him close to his mouth for a nibble.
We have Oh, okay. I forgot the stamina for a minute there.
Everyone in the area probably picks up on the fact that a whole bunch of noise just took place in the other room. Such as the rasping of a... Nah. They probably hear Crucius yelling something about heroics or something, I don't know.
Justice!
There's also probably the scream of ouch! And the thudding of bang, boom, bam.
There,
Sword
yeah.
hitting windowsill and like.
Yes.
Yep.
hissing.
How do you respond to the sudden sounds that come from this other room?
We hustle. Or at least,
Yeah.
Martha and Chaska do.
Marvelous.
On our feet. Gotta get in the room.
Hustling into the room, you see this creature, its fangs bared as it tries to bite your boss. You still have some time left to do something. What do you think might be useful?
I know, on my turn, I'm going to try to stab it in the mouth.
Marvelous.
I'm gonna run up and give it a good old hutcha.
Its contorted features seem unimpressed as your blade strikes it, yet you cannot find purchase. You don't have the necessary skill, power, ability to overcome whatever this creature is animated by. Delilah, what do you do in the back?
I'd probably try and sling some kind of magic. Yeah, magic.
I mean, you
something.
definitely know that this is a vampire. There's no argument to that. You know your own kind. A child of the
Just kind
night.
tell.
Get the plant.
It's like druids. Druids know this. By the way, I wish I was kidding, but I'm pretty sure the 3.5 is like, yeah, druids know each other. They can just go, that's a druid.
Would we have left the plant in this room, or would it
Yeah,
be in our room?
I put it with him.
Yeah.
The plant's like in the far corner so that it's not like keeping him awake by glowing on him.
Mage hand.
Yeah, I don't have mage hand, so I'm just gonna grit my teeth and grab one of the flowers and then throw it at it.
To be
So
fair,
it's open.
I mean, if you were a true hero, you would just throw the whole pot at him. But that would break
mean,
the pot.
Oh,
We need the rest of them.
So, I don't know about you, but throwing a flower seems like a very difficult thing to do.
Well, the garlic thing. You can throw
I mean-
garlic.
Yeah, and it probably still has like some of its stem. You can throw it like a dart.
Oh my god. I'm gonna play darts with this flower. Watch me, YOLO Pro Bro. Give it a go.
I got a gift for this.
Well, you know what? Give it a go. Give me that. Just roll dagger, because that seems appropriate for this.
I'm gonna spend a hero point just to make the roll +4.
Give it that extra
Yeah.
oomph.
17.
Well, you're not. You don't really need to hit it. You just need to make sure that it gets close enough.
Wait, you used the hero point before rolling this +8.
No, that's
Is it?
in first edition.
Oh,
Although to be
okay.
fair, I'm thinking of porting it over because honestly, it feels like a raw deal.
Yeah, because that's a limited amount for only a +4.
Dun, 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 dun. Although on the other hand, I guess there's a lot of thinking I need to do on that.
Things to consider.
Listen, I'm seriously think. Okay, here we go. All druids, all druids recognize each other as brothers and sisters. I love it. I love that a druid they just know.
Let's give each other a little nod.
They got that cool gang sign they do.
Trees.
The gang sign is holding up a flower.
Feel like
Marvelous. You
a
throw.
hand kind of looks like a tree.
You throw a
Like-
you throw a flower stem with garlic bud and all in what can only be called the most romantic throwing of a flower. The creature seems repelled by its strange, mystical, and rather off-putting scent. It reels for a moment and sees a room full of creatures. Crucius. It will attempt to bite your boss. Like that it will not be stopped that easily from getting a little nibble.
Yeah, what I want to do, I want to use the hero point too.
Mm-hmm.
I want to just step forward and shove my sword through its mouth.
Bite on this, mother clucker. Show me the goods. You know what? I'm
Yeah.
gonna say that works, but I don't think you're gonna like what's gonna happen to that sword.
My magic sword.
Your magic sword, yes. So I need to look up a few things. Primarily,
Which also has my spirit in it.
yeah, yeah. Doesn't stop him from trying to bite it to pieces. Let's see. What would a long sword? See, I know this.
What's
Sword.
the one I gave it?
Okay,
Oh, it has disrupting effect on it.
marvelous. Okay, cool. Well, he won't like that. Doesn't matter what damage you do because he's going to be running away in a moment anyway. But first, he's going to chomp on it. Your sword has 20 hit points, 5 hardness. Let's see how good Mr. Vampire can bite it. With his big, strong, big boy teeth. Your sword becomes broken as it bites down on it and causes the tip to, like, bend over upwards. So it's, like, completely unbalanced and losing some of that sharp tip. Then, with a wide smack, it tries to slap it from your hands before it moves its way out of here. Turning into a
Wait.
bat as it jumps out the window. Yes?
Can I grab it on its way out and use lay on hands?
Yeah, I think a lay on hands is like for free. Sure, go nuts.
Okay, so how do I use that?
Well, first off, you do become disarmed. Your weapon like slides off to the side. Yeah, that's all he needs.
So how do I use lay on hands?
I think you're just supposed to roll the damage, which is like two
Oh, here's
d6,
the button.
and you need to show me some. One.
Restore 12 hit points.
No,
Or 2d6, yeah, there it is.
and he gets a fort save. And they get a fort save. Let's see what that fort save has to say. It's a big one, though. It's a really big one. Oh, wow. Well, they still take some of that, and I do think... No, they have to fail to get the downside, don't they? Or critically? Something or another.
If it fails, it also takes the penalty.
Anyway, you all watch this creature jump out the window and fly off into the night. Unable to have slaked its hunger because it had to bite down on the sword instead. Blech!
Wow.
Quickly
That was
rush
a
to the
night.
side of
Delilah,
a boss.
you know vampires well enough, don't you? That vampire was So a lot of people like to forget about the part where vampires have this deep gnashing hunger that forces them to do evil things. That is what happens when you don't drink enough and it gets the better of you. You turn into essentially a rabid animal that is somewhat guided by who you are as a person and what you want to achieve in life. So
Well, that was a very, very hungry vampire.
Crucius touches her face where there's a slightly bleeding wound since it didn't get through my stamina points.
Ugh.
I noticed.
So, did you invite that thing in? Cause,
Your boss, by the way, is awake. He did get shaken awake, but he's just been quiet as it gets because he's been terrified of this contorted man person.
That's the question. I didn't invite that in.
Well, we also don't own this place, so maybe we need a word with the owners.
Actually, Crucius, since you were so close, giving it some thought since you're no longer in like hard combat mode, that was a lady vampire.
What if that was one of the Vistani? They seem like the kind.
I mean,
D-
so
They're pretty thirsty.
if Delilah were to like jump in on that argument, the Vistani did have business with him. So if they were hungry and frustrated, you know,
Now there's a problem, everybody. Crucius says, picking up her damaged sword.
it's gonna need some fixing. Yes,
And we don't have time to do it.
actually, repairing an item is not that intensive, especially if it's not a magical item.
It is.
It isn't if you just let the magic just run. Just hold it upside down, and let it pour out the broken end.
Yeah, because it's a +1 longsword.
Also, I don't think anyone is training crafting. No one's here training crafting, so I don't. Oh wait, you can technically spend 10 minutes if you have a repair kit
I'm trained in
on trade
crafting.
crafting.
I'm trained in crafting.
The DC is usually whatever it takes to make the item. So what level your item is, that's since
+1.
that'd be level 3. So I don't think anyone here has a good chance of doing it. But you're always free to try.
Oh, what's the DC of that?
Blacksmith time
18.
of night.
All right, I will attempt.
Jesus.
Got it.
You have fixed my
Martha the
sword.
Legend.
Martha, you have redeemed yourself for being drunk when our boss got kidnapped.
So you're untrained, so you recover 10 hit points to the item, which means
No,
it's
I
no
am
longer
trained.
broken.
I am trained.
Oh, in that case, you recover 20, and the weapon's just fully fixed after a while. You just straighten it out, sharpen it out, glue it together or something. I don't know. Whatever it takes to make a sword work good. Oh no, wait, sorry, it's
Good.
5. It's a critical success to 10. Okay, so the weapon is in good shape. It's no longer broken, but it's not like at full condition. Still a little rough.
I'm
Yeah, I
sure we
have
can
tried.
work out the rest of it later.
It
I've
works as a
crafted
sword.
some nail fletchings.
Just maybe don't get it bitten for a couple of hours.
Your boss is like probably not gonna sleep, judging by how he's like cowering under the sheets right now.
Now, boss. As you can see now, you're in safe hands. Nothing happened to you.
We're
I
all
think you can have
sleeping.
that
until
Is anyone gonna
tonight.
pick up that flower that landed on his head?
Yes.
He kind of lost track of that after the whole sword biting thing.
Yeah,
We're all
all this
sleeping
conversation's happening while Martha's working on the sword.
It's very loud and noisy, so eventually the barkeep will come in. Innkeeper notices the fact that your boss is terrified. There's a sword broken and with like teeth marks on it.
There's
blood all-
ichor all over the floor.
Yeah,
Claw marks and sword scratches on the windowsill.
A couple slashes across my cheek.
he just goes, "I'll just charge you double," and leaves.
That guy's
Luckily,
so
you're not
young,
paying.
Yay.
Not our problem.
I was about to say, I'm not paying that.
Handsome. With that, what we close that off for tonight.
Yeah, I gotta get some bed.
Tomorrow
Yeah.
or next time, you guys will be heading off to Ravenloft.
Yay.
Would that be nice? Maybe you'll finally get to see the titular man himself.
Hopefully. And this time it won't be like the last time where he's literally goddamned everywhere.
Probably.
Every
Maybe.
time we fought anything, like we saw that ice dragon that turned out to be Solace, I was certain it was just going to open its mouth and Strahd was going to jump out.
He opens his mouth and out comes Solace Creek.
Oh god, if he shows up against Crucius will not be as annoyed as Sanctity was.
You're at the old bone grinder, and actually, and you're like fighting the hags, and then Morgantha like unzips and is like, actually, I was Solace Creek in disguise, deep undercover. Don't know where he got that suit, but there he is.
The name's Peter Prospero. How you doing?
He just jumps out of a window that's exploding. I do this on the regular.
I had a friend who made it an explosive Tesla coil for some reason.
Hey, it worked. My plan was great.
It was subatomic, as they would say in the 50s.
Yesterday, Dizzy, Call of Cthulhu, we fought against a creature that seemed weak to lightning. So my non-technical person came up with the plan of making a super Tesla coil
With
and
the generator in the
exploding
house.
it. And
Which
our
still is
mad
good.
scientist was like, "I will do it."
Hell yeah.
The mad scientist's name is Hank of the Hill. He invented propane.
Also wears a helmet all the time.
Yes,
Medieval knight's helmet.
and believes he is a medieval knight.
Anyway, once you guys get to Ravenloft, hey, you'll finally level up. Wouldn't that be something?
That would be
Yeah.
nice. Also, I got an amazingly awesome headshot last night. That was good.
Kablooey.
I was prone, and these two, G-men showed up, and they're like, "Hey, we're a shoot ya, not bad people."
As a series and as a species anarchist, I believe that Strahd is a member of the DK crew.
I really need to find and post that stupid image I made.
Strahd, he's the last member of the DK.
No, Chunky is always the last member of the DK crew.
He is the final bastion through which all else are judged.
DK is always the first, Chunky's always the last. You can't break the song's rhythm, but you can add new members.
Add as many verses as you like.
I
As
just
long as the first and last.
look at it. Look at this beautiful thing.
I love this chart.
I love 1847. There's also one where people put on the chart like, is it a monkey or does it wear clothes? That was silly too.